and a May. He's also been featured on TMZ. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please help me welcome your feature for this evening, Lee May.
Yeah. Let's give it up for Marion, Ohio. Now I know I look like I shouldn't be doing a clean comedy show. I do know that I look like I would steal your Kia. Or your catalytic converter. Now, I like to start out my shows with a little Ohio State history. Now, does anyone know the #1 sport here in Ohio? Football? Oh, I thought that too, but it's actually construction. The second favorite sport in Ohio is guessing what the weather will be the next day. Now, I'm originally from a small town in southern Ohio called Ironton. I'm surprised. Yeah, we call it Martin. Yeah. Now, if you don't know where Ironton is, it's on the border where Billy Ray Cyrus should have never been born. Put it this way, Marion, Ironton is so white trash it makes River Valley feel better about itself. Do you need a keypad, honey? Now, the best part about living here in Ohio are the billboards. Have you seen those billboards that say, "Hell is real"? I believe that, because I've been through Galleon. Now, being from southern Ohio, I've got the southern accent. A lot of people up here hear my southern accent and they're like, I bet you know where to score the good heroin. And I do. In Pleasant Township. Now, having a southern accent, a lot of people think I listen to country music, right? There's nothing wrong with listening to country music, but the only thing I have in common with some country music fans is I once saw my cousin topless. It wasn't anything like that. I paid for that lap dance. Now, if that's not southern enough for you, I was raised in a trailer. Yeah, not those fancy double-wide trailers you might find in LaRue. I'm talking this single wide kind that kind of looked like a sleeve of crackers. You look at the trailer I grew up in and you're like, that has to be a meth lab. Now, Christmas was always touch and go when I was growing up, right? We didn't have a lot. My mom would ask me, Lee, what would you like to have for Christmas? And I'd tell her, and she was like, well, Santa can't afford that. And I was like, well, why did you ask me? Santa's dad don't work either? I'm 47 years old. Yeah, I know I don't look it. Thank you. I'm 47 and I still wear concert t-shirts, right? Now you're like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with wearing concert t-shirts, but you have to admit, I kind of look like I would sell your kids marijuana. You You laughed a little too hard at that, sir. But anyone here go to any county fairs this year?
Yes.
Yeah. County fairs are a lot like Walmart, aren't they?
Yes.
But outside.
We said that.
Don't steal my jokes. You'll still see people wearing their pajamas outside. Put it this way, county fairs are a lot like Disneyland, just only more meth. Did y'all drive here tonight?
No.
Oh yeah, which is it? How do you all afford gas? Seriously, gas prices are so high, the Amish are laughing at all of us. Amish people are jerks. They are. If I wanted to buy an overpriced apple pie from a woman with a beard, I would just go to Walmart. Amish people are jerks, man. When I'm not doing comedy, I'm a frontline worker. I work in nursing. And it's not glamorous, dear. Seriously, I don't work in the type of nursing that fights infectious diseases. I work in the type of nursing that wipes butts. You know, I smell like poop most of the time. I smell like poop so much people think that I live in Caledonia. I work in various nursing facilities throughout the area, and one of the facilities has an Amish patient, right? And part of my job is helping the residents get ready for the day. So I was doing this Amish patient's hair best I could, because I'm a guy, right? Let's do it the best I can. So I was just, combing her hair, and her daughter just waltzes right in, looks at me, and was like, I didn't know that a man could do a woman's hair. And I'm like, well, you can do a lot of things if you have electricity. Now I want you to go outside and pop me out about 40 kids and have them build me a house in about 45 minutes. Now, I consider myself a progressive type of guy. I was born a man, I look like a man, talk like a man, but I'm not much of a man. Like, I don't know how to change a tire. Yeah, I'm as worthless as a Kardashian. But when I was growing up, my dad was like, hey Lee, let me show you how to change a tire. And I was like, but I'm watching Spider-Man. And he was like, well, what are you going to do if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you have a flat tire? Then what? And I was like, I guess I'll call Spider-Man. And that's when he slapped me. Now I'm Generation X. Graduated barely in 1994. Kurt Cobain would look like this if he was still alive. All bloated and gassy. You've heard of Smells Like Teen Spirit. I'm getting to the age where it's starting to smell like icy hot. I recently got invited to go to my high school class reunion, and I'm not going. Why would I? If I wanted to see the people I went to high school with, I would just put a sign outside my house that says, "Free copper." Does anyone here have tattoos? And just because it's a clean comedy show, we can have tattoos. I think that's allowed. Anyone? No. A few of you? Okay. I've got several, as you can see. Alright. But the last tattoo I got really hurt. Really hurt. Couldn't get used to the shading. If you have tattoos, you know what I'm talking about. Couldn't get used to the pain. And I was just lying there on the table, and I was just saying, like, oh my gosh, Lee, you're pushing 50 years old. Who are you trying to impress? And then my cellmate at Marion Correctional was like, "Shut up, fresh meat. You're my property now." Oh my gosh. Where you get a tattoo says a lot about you, right? Like if you have a tattoo on your face, that kind of means you're unemployed. And possibly work at Lee's Famous Fried Chicken up the road. If you have a tattoo on your neck, that means you're white trash. And possibly own every album by Kid Rock. If you have a tramp stamp, which is a tattoo on your lower back, that means you shop at Walmart in your pajamas. And have several baby daddies. Hit a little too close to home, Marion? Man, I got my first tattoo when I was 40. And my ex-wife was like, "You're just going through your midlife crisis." And she's kind of right. Which I guess is cheaper than buying a Corvette. And a lot less creepier than dating a college girl. But a lot of you women in your 20s, you're all looking for a sugar daddy, right? You are, I can tell. Now, do I look like I could be your sugar daddy? Now, if you wanted something from Rent-A-Center, I got your 90-day same as cash money. I'll get you that sofa on a payment plan. But speaking of women in their 20s, has anyone here ever heard of the show Catfish? I figured you have. I like to call Catfish by what it should be called. How stupid are you? Like, for example, if a woman who looked like you would message a guy who looked like me, I would have several questions. Like, first of all, how much money do you want? And second, what part of Nigeria are you from? I've been actually banned from a couple of dating apps before. Not for any of that stalky nonsense, even though I kind of look like one of those guys. A woman hit me up on the trailer park of dating apps called Meet Me. Has anyone here heard of it? I guess I'm the only single desperate person up here, all right? Thanks. I matched up with this woman on this dating app called Meet Me, right? And I broke the ice. I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, not so good." And I was like, "Oh God, here we go." And of course I took the bait because lonely and desperate doesn't mix. So I was like, "What's wrong?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm having trouble paying my electric bill this month." And then she was like, typing, "I would do anything if you would help me pay my electric bill, dear." I was like, "Anything?" And I was like, "Well, why don't you come over to my house and we'll Hallmark movie and chill." And all of a sudden, she blocked me, delete, block, report. Kicked off the dating app, and I guess it's true what everyone says these days. No one wants to work for their money anymore. Any fans here of the Beatles? Oh, I like the Beatles, yeah. Now, if you remember, John Lennon once said, "All you need is love." But for me, love came with court costs. I have, and this is true, an ex-wife, a baby mama, and another ex-wife. So clearly, they're the problem. My last ex-wife could remember the names of all of our pizza delivery guys, but not my birthday. You sound a little too sad, Dad. I'll see you after the show. Hope you like guys with stretch marks. But, yeah, my marriage lasted 4 years, which is as long as a presidential term. I wanted 4 more years, I just didn't get the votes. My mother is a devout Baptist. She was raised Baptist and is still a Baptist. And she says God is everywhere. Y'all believe that? Yeah. But you know what's also everywhere, Marion? Dollar General. You know, I'm getting older, we're all getting older, and we like to think what happens after we die. Whatever religion you are, we all think about that. It's just human nature. But I have figured out that I want to be reincarnated as a bird. Because as a bird, there can't be no greater feeling in the world than pooping on someone's newly washed car. And I'd be a jerk about it too, because I would eat all the berries just to make my poops bigger and more colorful. You've heard of tasting the rainbow? I'll crack the rainbow on your Prius. Anyone here struggling with weight issues or anything like that?
Oh, yeah.
Or have you? Yeah, a few of you. Yeah, have you ever tried to go on a diet and it seems like the whole world is against you? Right? Like you'd be sitting there dieting, watching TV, and all of a sudden a commercial for Dairy Queen comes on. And the commercial was like, hey, try our new pork chop cookie dough fried chicken blizzard. And you're just sitting there eating a celery stick. Peanut butter with peanut butter if you're fancy. And you're like, oh my God, I'm starving to death. And you look over at the cat, and the cat's starting to look delicious. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I can't eat that cat. I'm on a diet. I can't eat Chinese. Losing weight is hard. It's really hard. Like when you lose weight, you're not going to look like someone like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Vin Diesel or Caitlyn Jenner. You're going to look like me. Doughy and still a Snickers bar away from wearing a bra. But celebrities like, Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel, they all have dietitians and personal trainers and money. I'm broke. I have Siri. And when I ask Siri, how do you lose weight? Siri was like, quit eating fat, boy. I'm getting older. Getting old really, really stinks. It does. I'm getting older, so my hair is starting to thin out. So I just decided, I'm not going to look like Hulk Hogan circa 1994. Wearing a bandana with long flowing feathered locks in the back, right? So I just decided to shave off all my hair, buzz it, just wear beanies and skull caps, right? So I visited my daughter a few weeks ago wearing a skull cap. She walks in the door, takes one look at me, and was like, Daddy, why are you wearing a shower cap? I'm like, Ava, it's a skull cap. It helps me look, tough and bad and all that. And she was like, well, you look like you're about ready to get in the shower. I caught her back though. Yeah. Since she thought I looked like I was about ready to get in the shower, I picked her up from school wearing nothing but a bath towel. Marion